So today we'll be making a unique street food from Nagano prefecture. It's called Oyaki. It's filled with meat and a pickled mustard green called nozawana. I'll show you how to make it. Let's get started. First, we'll need to start with the dough. Traditionally, the dough is made from buckwheat flour in Nagano, but plain old wheat flour will work just fine. So we'll start with 100 grams of all-purpose flour. We will supplement that with an equal part of bread flour, which is higher in protein necessary for the formation of gluten. To the flour, we will add a pinch of salt with a very tiny spoon. Whisk that briefly to make sure the salt is evenly distributed. Next, add in 3/4 of a cup of hot water. Use the whisk to slowly bring it together, but once the dough has started to come together, it will be easier to just use your hands. Knead briefly until it is smooth. Kinda like this. Wrap it up and set it aside for at least 30 minutes. While the dough is resting, let's make our filling. The main star is a unique pickled vegetable called nozawana. Remove it from the brine and squeeze out the moisture. Give it a little tap for encouragement, and we will cut it into a fine chop. If you can't get nozawana, any other hearty leafy green will do. If I had to make this without nozawana, I would probably use spinach. Run the knife through a few times until they look like this when dropped in slow motion. Next, heat a large frying pan with a little vegetable oil. Add in about 150 grams of ground meat. Break it up with a wooden spoon and saute until browned. Add in a teaspoon of grated ginger, a tablespoon of sake, and some soy sauce. Give that a quick mix so the meat is coated. Add in the nozawana. Cook that until most of the liquid has dissipated. Season it to taste with a little salt and pepper. Set that aside in a bowl. Other popular fillings are miso eggplant or kabocha, which is Japanese pumpkin. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, let's get back to our dough. It is pretty tacky and elastic now, perfect for rolling out. Flour the counter. Cut this into equal parts. I went for 4 here, but this dough could be cut into 6 parts or even 8 parts depending on how big you'd like your oyaki. Stretch out each piece of dough as evenly and as round as possible. Use a rolling pin if necessary. Place it in the palm of your hand and spoon in filling into the center. Close it up by folding in the edges to the center and pinching them shut. They may look similar to bao buns, which are called nikuman in Japan, but because we will pan fry them, they will have a distinct flat shape to them. Once closed, press them into a circle shape, and there we go, an oyaki. Continue this process until all your dough and filling are used up. And here we have our oyaki ready. They are a little big, but that's alright. One last thing, I'll add a few black sesame seeds on top, because that's how I had them recently in Nagano, which I thought was a nice touch. Okay, we have our oyaki formed, so let's get our frying pan hot. Just gonna brush the top with a little vegetable oil to help the seeds stick. Add a little oil. Gently add in the oyaki with the seam side down to sear it shut. They kind of look like cheeseburgers, don't they? Which, you know what? That would be an interesting experiment filling for them. Let me know in the comments below which filling you'd like to see me turn into oyaki next. We'll be cooking them for 10 minutes on each side on a medium-low heat. So in 10 minutes, we'll come back and give these a flip. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. They're getting a nice crust on the outside. So just like burgers, we're gonna give them a flip. And there we go. Okay, so we've given the oyaki a flip and we'll cook it on this side for another 10 minutes. If you're enjoying this video, leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I flipped them over just because I want the sesame side up. There's one last thing to do. Now that they've gotten a little color, we're just gonna steam it with a little warm water. Get your lid ready. We'll put in about a half a cup of hot water and let it steam to finish. We'll just steam that until all the water has disappeared. Okay, so it seems like most of the water is evaporated. Let's take a look. All right, moment of truth. That looks really good. I mean, there's still a little water, but I think that's good. Just gonna put them on a rack so that any excess water drains off. Whoa. And there we have it, Oyaki. Let's get ready to plate. So in the spirit of street food, I'll put down a little parchment paper. And there we have it, some Nagano street food, Oyaki. Let's give it a taste. Filling's nice, there's a nice ratio of meat to nozawana. So there they are, Oyaki. It's a unique street food and you can have fun with the fillings too. This also goes really nicely with eggplant, and if you can't get nozawana, try substituting it with another vegetable. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more recipes just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.